The 3 count question of the week.
Or should we talk Crown Jewel now? We should probably flip ski because
the reason why we're flipping it around a little bit is because I have to leave at the halfway point of the show.
Shane McMahon.
Oh my God, I'm trying to tell a story here.
The best in the world. Shane McMahon.
That one felt longer.
War games, war. Get him out of the way.
War games. War games. War games. War games. War games. War games. War games.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm leaving halfway to defend the honor of 3 Count Thursday on the Take 3 podcast with EJ and Mike and crew. I'm avenging Big Jim's horrible attempt at Jeopardy. They're doing NXT TakeOver Jeopardy. And I am not ready, but here's hoping I'm more ready than those suckers.
I feel like you'll be more ready. You'll be more ready than EJ.
Yes.
Jim, what did you fuck up on?
I'm everything. Probably.
It was it Royal Rumble trivia?
SummerSlam trivia.
SummerSlam trivia.
I'm disappointed.
I'm disappointed too. You'll be maybe as prepared as Joe, maybe a little bit more. Mike, I think, is going to be your tricky one.
I don't know who the host is for the game.
Ken Jennings.
Because I think it might be Mike.
If Mike's Mike's probably hosting because he knows more than the other two. So you'll probably be okay.
I'm gonna crush him.
You will certainly crush EJ for sure.
Yeah. EJ thought he was slick.
Whenever
EJ, I guess, huh?
Whenever he hears this moment of this podcast, I will get a text.
Yeah. No, he's about to get dumpstered.
I think EJ's a nice fella, and we shouldn't talk bad about him.
I'd do whatever I want. I'm on vacation.
There you go.
So Crown Jewel.
Right. Let's talk about Crown Jewel because Tim watched the whole show in full. I don't think any of the rest of us actually watched it in full, correct?
I missed the whole show in full.
I also missed the whole show.
Didn't watch.
Perfect.
I'm this upset you. I missed the whole thing, but I did catch Olivia Rodrigo's Sour Prom.
I mean, in the end, that's really all that matters.
Helpful.
So I was able to. I had it on in the background. I was able to observe some of it.
Jim, weren't you supposed to be training?
Well, yeah, that's why I didn't watch it, but I had it on. I'm aware of things that happened.
Mark's upset.
I don't know that you.
Mark doesn't like when you steal company time.
Yeah, well.
Wait till he hears about my bathroom moments.
So Tim, since you watched it in full and you already podcasted once about it in full on Viewer's Choice, why don't maybe you lead the charge a little bit in this?
I'm gonna go on record as to say that this might be to date the best WWE event of the year. Better than WrestleMania, better than SummerSlam.
Which I don't know. SummerSlam definitely wasn't. WrestleMania was like good in spots, but like not great in other spots. Like I feel like some of the other pay-per-views may have been like actual better pay-per-views than some of those. But yeah, from what I saw from a lot of like people talking on Twitter today, it seems that today's show was without question the best Saudi show and one of the better shows of the year.
And what helps with the Saudi show is the crowd this time was tremendous. For a 4-hour event, there was no lulls at all in the crowd, which I would love to be able to say about a US crowd at any point. But at the same token, like they were just there for everything. Everything seemed to hit. It was very like everything was succinct and all the outcomes were really good too.
Was this a good Saudi crowd or a good crowd period?
Good crowd period.
Okay.
This was
So better than like a cheddar show.
Yeah. But this is also better than like any real other WWE pay-per-view that's not WrestleMania and SummerSlam this year.
Well, I don't think any other WWE pay-per-view that's not WrestleMania or SummerSlam gets a card like this.
Yeah, I mean the card was stacked.
Like you give the crowd something to cheer for in, I don't fucking know, Detroit, they'll probably cheer.
But I think they'd also like boo, like they would have booed the house out for Zelina Vega and Doudrop.
Well, they're just happy to see women over there.
I mean, now I want to take you to task really quick, Ryan.
Here we go.
Here's why. I specifically remember you saying multiple times that if Saudi Arabia, like the Saudi Arabia shows, would showcase women more, that you would give these shows an opportunity. Not only did they crown the female king of the ring here, the SmackDown Women's title was the semi-main event, and ref Jessica Carr wrestled or reffed in multiple matches on the card.
So now,
Yes, I'm sorry. Saudi Arabia is very progressive in their stance. I have been corrected.
I mean, I assume you didn't watch today because you were at work.
I mean, the fact that it's like a 1 p.m. on a Thursday doesn't help the fact that I have no interest of watching these. But great. I mean, I'm glad if WWE was able to be some force to cultivate some change over there. That's great. That absolutely is great. I really think it comes down to like the king or whoever he is, the prince, allowing it. So if he says it's all right, then he says it all right. I don't know if the WWE, I don't know. I think like they'd just be just as fine leaving the ladies at home if the prince was like, not today.
For sure.
My daddy's coming, so we can't play with the girls today.
Like I get that. Now they also did, and it's something I didn't really cover in Viewer's Choice, but they also had a point with Titus O'Neil and Natalya with breast cancer survivors from Saudi Arabia, and they made mention of a Saudi nonprofit that works with breast cancer survivors. I think it's the Zara Foundation.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
The Zara Breast Cancer Association. And that was such a touching moment because like they had 4 Saudi ladies in the ring with title belts, with Titus and with Natalya there, giving them a round of applause, referring to them as heroes, things like that. So really, really awesome to see that even overseas, they're still able to kind of be goodwill ambassadors beyond just like inside the ring stuff.
Was Flo Rida there?
No, he couldn't make the trip in. Neither could Bad Bunny.
I know Pitbull was in Saudi Arabia because the Undertaker was his hype man. Because
Mr. Worldwide.
Shit doesn't get any weirder in 2021. Do you think that part of the reason that they got the card as stacked as they did is because it's been like 2 years since they've had one of these shows and they pay the WWE a large sum of money? Oh, let's check in on Mark. Mark, how you doing, bud?
So then, then she ended up quitting before they could fire, and that was the end of that.
Oh, that happens. That happens.
I probably shouldn't
Um,
have put all that out there, but I felt it was necessary. So let that be a lesson to anybody out there stealing time.
It is good to know, Mark. We appreciate you looking out for all of it. Is that a
I
hard
love that you've one-upped me in the mug game with the Hardy's mug.
couple
Well,
weeks
I've had
ago?
this for
A
But
week
as
and a
long as
half
you've
you
had the
bought it at
KB,
Rook?
but as long as you had that KB toy sign behind you.
I say,
Yeah,
did you
this is-
find it in the dumpster along with the KB toy sign, or
this mug's from 1999. I've had it since Tuesday when I found it at Roots.
I actually ate at a Hardee's a couple weeks ago. I got that the chicken waffle breakfast sandwich.
Dude,
Fantastic.
their burgers are fantastic.
Ah,
But
so good. I get the roast beef.
Oh, the roast beef. They got the Reds burritos. Oh, you can't go wrong.
They're going all in.
so
Mary's
there are
working
the
one up here in Middletown now.
yeah
To
Is it-
answer your question though, Big Jim,
yes
I think it doesn't hurt that it's been some time since we've had a Saudi show. I mean, it's been over a year. I think the last one was October 2019,
yeah.
and that was when The Fiend won the Universal title
Oof.
on Halloween.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That was also the night that the WWE was held up on the tarmac.
Uh-oh.
And they could not fly over, and therefore had to call NXT to go to SmackDown. And that's when we got the amazing Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan stuff.
Baby.
Like, that was super cool. So hopefully, I think time heals all wounds. I'm sure that the Saudi government and the like were just as excited to see the WWE as the WWE was to see the fans in attendance,
And to cash the check.
So,
who some
Tim, are
of
you saying
which
Tim, I was wondering if you're saying that there's a chance Braun Breaker will be on SmackDown this week.
one could hope. One could hope that Braun Breaker and his manager Beaker will be there in attendance. Now, I do know that there were certain superstars who had gone on record as to say that they were going to donate 100% of their earnings from this trip. I think Mustafa Ali was mainly the one I saw, but I'm sure that multiple people have in the past where they'll earn this money and then turn it around and do some good with it in the local communities.
That's awesome. And Mansoor, one of the few WWE superstars that picks up a win in his hometown. How about that?
They wanted to make sure they got home and not stuck on the tarmac again.
I really want to give praise to Mansoor. I remember because I've unashamedly watched every Saudi Arabia show.
Yeah, me too.
And I specifically recall the day that the WWE announced they were doing the open tryouts in Saudi Arabia, and Mansoor was one of the four. I think also Shanky was a part of the group. But when they gave Mansoor the microphone, even that first time, he seemed like the only guy who got it, who understood the entertainment portion, who was charismatic enough. And he and Ali had a excellent 10-minute match in Saudi Arabia. It was the first, they made mention of it on commentary. It was the first time two Muslim WWE superstars faced one another. So even more history on top of everything else. Mustafa Ali went on social media that said the goal has been simple, light the spark for the next generation. And so you don't know how many people in that crowd that are impressionable ages see two people who look like them doing the things that they did in the ring. But Mansoor, to this point, I hope WWE just doesn't break glass in case of Saudi Arabia on Mansoor, because I feel like the only time he ever gets used or like brought to the forefront is, we have a Saudi show coming up in 4 weeks. We need Mansoor. Mansoor is good.
Yeah, like I
And
thought the promo he cut on Monday, like after the interaction with
he's
Ali,
so good.
was real good. Like I've loved like all like the stuff they were doing when they were a tag team. You know, now that they're broken up as a tag team. Yeah, he's really good. So I hope they continue to utilize him.
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before we see like Intercontinental Champion Mansoor or United States Champion Mansoor.
Yeah.
World Resort.
Tim, I love that you said about like the youth in the crowd and seeing these, you know, representation of like people that look like them, you know, being highlighted in a ring in the entertainment that they want. It says to them, you too one day can be the leader of Retribution, one of the worst factions in WWE history. You too can have that opportunity.
I get that, you know, the WWE used to be very much like the Dream Team in 1996 with where it's like, or was the Dream Team was 92.
92.
Yeah.
92, where it's like America showcases basketball to the world. And like everybody wants to play basketball because they see the Dream Team absolutely rolling teams. I get that wrestling isn't that anymore, or WWE isn't that, but to a certain degree, like there are people who still see it as that. And WWE could be an escape valve for some of these people who want to see the world and see different cultures and maybe be able to express themselves more freely in different facets. So, but I think Mustafa Ali's done all right considering he was in Retribution. Nobody talks about Retribution anymore, so that's fun.
That's perfect. That's exactly how it probably should be. The two matches that I really did get a chance to see a lot of was the opener, the Hell in a Cell, which I thought was fantastic. We're going to talk more about Seth Rollins and his place in history next week. So that's a little teaser for next week for a topic. And then I saw the main event, Roman and Brock, but really you know, the closing moments of the match is really the hook, and I'm sure that video is already on YouTube and whatever. Like, but Heyman, like Paul Heyman in this story has been so good, and just throwing the belt between when the referee's down, Brock and Roman are down. Heyman throws the belt between the two of them and yells, "You know what to do." And then there was the tug of war. The Usos come out, you know, cause Brock to lose the match. But the story, I mean, this isn't over. You know, I think whether it's the Rumble, whether it's Mania, I mean, we're going to see Brock and Roman again. But I just thought that the execution of especially the final moments of this match was just absolutely fantastic. And I mean, this may be my favorite Brock Lesnar. Or it's at least right up there with Money in the Bank Brock Lesnar. But man, when Brock wants to and is bought in, he's so freaking good, man. He really is. I loved what they did with the end of this.
For sure. And I think it even goes beyond that too. So after the dust settled and the 1, 2, 3s had, and Roman Reigns escapes with the Universal Championship, the story is the look on Paul Heyman's face. Almost as if like Paul was left out of something. In my head, the way that the story goes is that Paul goes to throw the title in, Brock gets the belt, Brock cracks Roman, and Brock wins. Roman knew something like this was going to happen and planned for the Usos to come out. And the Usos stopping Brock was the wrinkle that Paul didn't know. And that's what opened the door for Roman to hit him with the title. And simplistic championship booking, a title belt to the head, it puts Brock Lesnar down, and he stays down for 3. But part of me feel like I'm so excited. And did you see Brock Lesnar's quote?
Yes, because I think I tweeted something about more Brock.
Full-time Brock.
Yeah, like more Brock on the show is good for everybody.
Brock quoted after the match, he says, "As soon as I arrive on SmackDown tomorrow, I'm beating Roman Reigns senseless."
Yeah, I love it. The more we get him, the happier I am at this point. Since Tim, you were the only one that watched the show in full, do you have a grade for the show? I think you were preemptively giving it like a B.
I'm giving it an A.
Giving it an A upon the watch.
It's really good. Like every ending, every finish was great. The stories that the matches told were fantastic. They did the right thing and gave the King of the Ring to Xavier Woods.
Thank God.
They did the right thing and they kept the title on Big E. They kept the title on Roman.
They gave Goldberg, Bobby Lashley 11 minutes.
See, the story is going to read. The story is going to read. They had 11 minutes, but this match was probably the best Goldberg has been in a match since his match with Dolph Ziggler at like SummerSlam 19.
It was either 19 or 18, yeah.
And that match went like 2 minutes. Like that match with Dolph went 2 minutes.
Right.
Bobby Lashley really carried Brock to, or not Brock. He really carried Goldberg to a fantastic match.
Yeah, I mean, I said it last week. If his title reign had to be sacrificed, so when Big Bill beat him in Saudi Arabia, he's a better man than I am, and because I think Bill was winning this one either way. So
yeah, the only thing now is that all signs point to the number one contender of the WWE Championship being Goldberg.
Stop it!
Big meaty man slapping me.
If Lashley loses, Lashley lost, and Drew McIntyre
he
goes
was
to
avenging
SmackDown.
his son, right? Because because Bobby put his hands on his son.
Bobby!
So that was what motivated him.
Yes.
Not a standing, not a ranking.
Mm-hmm.
Was Goldberg's son in Saudi Arabia? No, that's probably safe. I can't even. I'm going to shut up. Just go ahead, Tim. You keep talking. It sounds like a great show. I'm going to give it a B+.
perfect. Matt, you want to give it a grade?
I'll give it a C because of the length of the match, just going on Jim's grading schedule.
I appreciate.
I will probably go back and watch it at some point. I just couldn't today.
I won't.
Yeah, like if you had
Appreciate
to watch,
your honesty, Ryan.
Unapologetically won't. If I do anything, I'll watch the opening match, which I heard could be like match of the year candidate.
I'm not going to
on
watch
my
every
list.
match.
do
but
not watch every match.
Yeah,
Like,
I will
you
watch
can-
some of them.
You can easily watch for me. Watch the first two matches,
What's number 2?
Mansoor
Hell in a
Ali.
Cell and Mansoor Ali,
Okay.
and then skip down and then pick up from Big E and Drew McIntyre.
Oh, so don't even watch the Woods Balor match?
Nope.
Okay.
It's a TV match. Xavier Woods wins the crown.
I mean, I like who they crowned
thanks
as
for the
King
spoiler.
of Queen.
Oh my God, you'll find out.
I like who they crowned as King and Queen in here, but
For
I
sure.
don't necessarily need to see Zelina Vega wrestle Doudrop.
No, and it was 6 minutes. It was what it was. They actually played into the size differential. There was like a moment where like Zelina knocks out Doudrop in the corner and she struggles to pull her out, and she's like screaming at the top of her lungs, trying to exert all of her force to pull Double D out of the corner.
Oof, that double D name doesn't sound
Well,
great.
you did that.
She calls it.
Well,
That's
you
what she
pulled a
calls
double
herself.
D out of the corner.
I wasn't proud of it, but yes,
Yeah.
I have the scar to
Yeah,
still to this
you know.
day. I could show you.
But Biggie
She was
drew
kicking and screaming.
the women's triple threat. I wasn't the biggest fan of the women's triple threat, but I will say it's like one of the better triple threat matches of all time.
Okay.
Like it's up there. I'm not a fan of it, but I recognize it for what it is. And Roman Goldberg is a fun watch. I mean, if you've seen Roman Goldberg, you've seen them all. Roman Brock, sorry. If you've seen Roman Brock, you've seen it before. But I feel like there's a little bit of a wrinkle difference now that we have like head of the table Roman and whoever this Viking was that ate Brock
Ponytail
Lesnar.
Brock.
Yeah. Brock Lesnarson. Like that was very fun. It was a very fun main event. And I would literally skip everything like RK Bro and AJ almost.
I mean, you can find the clip of Riddle riding the camel.
Don't need to see it.
That's all you need to see out of
That was literally the highlight of it. The Queen's Crown was what it was. What else was there on this
Boy,
card?
Tim, you were selling this like a great must-watch pay-per-view.
Goldberg and Bob.
So all the matches were good. Like they were good. All of the matches were at least good.
What was the pre-show matches?
Usos versus the Hurt Biz.
Oh, okay.
And that was rather nice too.
You
I didn't
watched
know
the pre-show?
I saw the second half.
How
I saw
much
the
time
second
do you
half.
have?
I'm on
He
vacation.
was on vacation, Ryan.
I can go fish.
Ryan is on vacation.
Fishing is too expensive.
Ryan,
Mark, do you have
Ryan,
a
remember the time
grade
you
for
rode
the show you
the
didn't see?
are you talking about the time Ryan rode the camel at the Denver Fair?
That's the one. That's the one. Do you have a grade for that?
That was an A, solid A. It was a 2-hump camel too. He had a great time.
How about that?
He was a little nervous getting on there, but they took
Who,
good
the
care of
camel or Ryan?
him. Both.
Camel was right
Yeah,
to be
it was hard
nervous.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It was hard to hear what Ryan was saying over the noise the camel's knees knocking together was putting off. That camel was more nervous than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
I hate you so much.
Well, you love to see it. Okay. So
So what was it? You had a letter grade there, Mark? I
he
for
gave you an
incomplete.
A. He gave you an
A
A.
solid A. Absolute A. I'd
Um,
highly recommend it. Dewdrop, double D in the corner with Lena Vega.
Thank you.
Match of the year.
Tim, do you want to tell people where they can hear another review of this show that you did and all the other stuff before we let you go?
Subscribe to the North South Connection podcast feed, northsouthconnection.podbean.com. It's on there. If you want just the audio, you can find it on Twitter at VC on North South. It's also on the soon to be named network's website, soon to be named network.com as well.
All right, Tim, we will
Any
talk to
guesses
you
what the
next
name is?
week.
We
Go
wrapped
and
up already. That was a quick 2 hours.
No, just me. I gotta go defend our honor.
go
Take
do
Three.
us proud. That'll be on Take Three Wrestling's podcast this week. Make sure you check that out if you're not following them already. And we'll be back. 4 of us will be back. Well, 3 of us and sometimes intern Mark